Bam Adebayo is one of the best young centers in the NBA. What makes him so good? Let's find out. Bam Adebayo is mostly known for his thunderous dunks and incredible athleticism, but today I want to take a look at some of the lesser talked about parts of his game. So let's start off with the scheme fit. A big key to the Miami Heat offense is their dribble handoffs. It's something they use throughout pretty much every single game they play, and something that creates a lot of good looks for their shooters and even penetration opportunities off of the dribble. And if you don't know what a dribble handoff is, it's basically when a player dribbles towards one of his teammates, gets in a position where he's almost setting a pick basically, but then he's going to hand that ball off to his teammate as the teammate curls around. And the player who receives the ball in the dribble handoff will typically get a lot of good looks for three. It's something that even the Warriors have done with Steph Curry and a bunch of other teams as well. And the dribble handoff is something that works best when you have a big man who can really handle the ball and distribute well. It's something that the Denver Nuggets use a lot with Nikola Jokic, and it's really effective for their offense. So let's take a look at how Bam Adebayo uses it. And this first play is a very simple dribble handoff. It's very basic, but it'll give you kind of a good idea of what this looks like and what the Miami Heat offense is kind of really built around. So Bam Adebayo is going to receive the ball here, and Robinson's going to initiate the dribble handoff. And right here, Bam is going to identify two players. He's going to identify Martin and Zeller. And right here, he's going to look at Martin. There's a decent amount of space between Martin and Robinson, and so Bam knows that if this dribble handoff works well, Robinson could get a bunch of space to knock down that three. He's also looking at Cody Zeller here, and he sees that Cody Zeller is far back, which means that he's not going to likely come up far enough to really contest that three by Duncan Robinson. And as you see here, they do the dribble handoff. Robinson gets a ton of space, and he's able to knock down that three. But the great thing about the dribble handoff is that it's not unidimensional. It's very versatile. So let's take a look at what happens when the defense plays it a little bit differently. And this clip is actually from the same game. It's a little bit later in the game, so the Hornets have adjusted their defense. They've tried to make changes, and let's see what happens in this play. So as you can see here, Robinson's going to feed Bam Adebayo for another dribble handoff, and Bam's going to again analyze those two players. That's Miles Bridges and PJ Washington. But as you see this play develop, let's take a look right there at PJ Washington, how he kind of slides up to defend against Duncan Robinson because he's worried about that three. So he's going to kind of slide a little bit up to try and protect that dribble handoff for a three, which leaves a ton of space for Bam Adebayo to use, and he just attacks that rim and goes and slams it home. And this is just a great example of the read and react system with the dribble handoffs. You know, the Hornets have been probably getting beat by that three-point shot all night long. Great shooters on the Heat, and with that dribble handoff, you can create a ton of space for them. But after a lot of threes, they're going to try to adjust. So they overcommit on the dribble handoff, which leaves space for Bam Adebayo to kind of cut into the paint and get to that rim. And additionally, this is just a great example of how explosive Bam Adebayo is. I mean, he was basically out by the three-point line, and he takes one dribble, one hard dribble, and gets all the way to the basket and finishes with a really hard slam. And here's a third example of the dribble handoff. Again, they're taking on the Hornets from the same game, and Bam Adebayo is going to receive this ball. Duncan Robinson's going to curl around for that three-point shot from the dribble handoff, and you can look at Cody Zeller right there, kind of goes to Bam Adebayo's back because he's trying to defend that three-point shot, so he's going to slide up to defend Duncan Robinson, but that opens up the space for Bam Adebayo to drive through, and he reads that really well, and we can see him drive here into the lane. But if you look right here, Devontae Graham slides up to protect against that drive, so Derrick Jones Jr. over there in the corner is going to now cut towards the baseline side, and Bam Adebayo has the vision to find Derrick Jones Jr. for that slam. And these three plays really just show that Bam Adebayo is put in a great position to succeed. You know, as a player, you can have all the natural skill in the world, but if you're not in a good organization with a good offensive system, it's going to be hard to find long-term sustainable success. Bam Adebayo is with a fantastic organization with a great head coach and a great offensive scheme, and it allows him to maximize his skill set and really fulfill his potential as a player. And that last clip was actually a great segue, because now let's talk about my favorite part of Bam Adebayo's game, his vision. So in this play, Bam Adebayo is going to set the screen for Duncan Robinson. Robinson's going to come around it and feed Bam Adebayo with a nice bounce pass. And let's pause it right here. Now right here is something I like to call being 2 steps ahead. And normally the phrase is just 1 step ahead, but here I think Bam Adebayo is actually being 2 steps ahead. So from this position, Bam can see that Martin came down from the corner to help on his drive, which would leave Solomon Hill open for 3. So if Bam was thinking 1 step ahead, he might make that pass to the corner for a 3. But as I said before, Bam thinks 2 steps ahead. But since Bam here is thinking 2 steps ahead, he's going to look at Devontae Graham right there. And Devontae Graham is actually guarding Kendrick Nunn, but because Martin slid down to help into the paint, Devontae Graham's rotation is going to take him over to Solomon Hill. So again, Bam reads Martin and then Graham, so 2 steps there, and he's going to identify that Kendrick Nunn is actually the one who will be open for 3 after the rotations. And Bam's going to turn in midair and fire an accurate pass out there to Kendrick Nunn for a 3, and you can look at Devontae Graham right there. He actually did slide down to Solomon Hill, so a fantastic read right there by Bam Adebayo. A great job thinking not 1, but 2 steps ahead. Let's take a look at another clip which really shows off Bam Adebayo's vision and patience. Again, another clip from the Hornets game. Bam's really putting on a clinic here against Charlotte, and Bam's going to receive this ball right in that middle area, and let's pause it right here and take a look at Cody Zeller. So as you can see here, the Hornets kind of looked to be in a zone, but it got kind of broken down. It didn't really work that well. They weren't set up a great way. So Cody Zeller here is going to kind of be stuck in the middle of 2 potential opportunities. So in this position, there's really 2 main threats. Obviously, first is Bam Adebayo. Right there, he can kind of shoot that little short jumper. He's very proficient at it, so it's definitely a threat. But the other threat is Derrick Jones Jr., who's cutting down that baseline. Obviously, incredible vertical by Derrick Jones. Slam dunk champion, just a great all-around athlete, and so that's definitely a threat as well. So Cody Zeller here is really stuck in between those 2 possibilities. So if you're Cody Zeller, you're really just trying to read and react in this situation. You're trying to read Bam's eyes. You're trying to read what he's trying to do, whether he's going to make that pass to Derrick Jones or whether he's going to take that shot and then react as a defender from that point. But Bam Adebayo is a very smart player, so he's not going to make it that easy on Zeller. And spoiler alert, Bam does end up making an alley-oop pass for a slam dunk. But let's take a look at how he gets it done. As we do kind of a freeze frame type thing here on Bam Adebayo, we can see that he's really in a shooting type position. Like, it looks like he's going to shoot all the way up through his motion until he releases the ball. And that's going to keep Cody Zeller in that middle ground. That's going to force him to not be able to go back and help on that alley-oop. And as you see here, Bam Adebayo eventually reaches the top of his peak and sends that alley-oop pass. But by that point, Cody Zeller is way too late. That pass gets through, and Derrick Jones Jr. finishes the lob. And this clip really just shows off Bam Adebayo's IQ and intelligence in the offensive game. If he just came out and threw an alley-oop right away, just didn't disguise it at all, made it obvious, Cody Zeller could have possibly retreated back. He could have maybe defended it or at least been in a position to defend it. But because Bam Adebayo disguised it by making it look like his shooting motion, he was able to kind of trick Cody Zeller a little bit, get the advantage, and finish that alley-oop. Another clip from that Hornets game, this is really just a Bam highlight reel in this game, but I guess the Hornets are winning, so they must be doing something right at least. But this play is very similar to the last one. It really shows off Bam's IQ, intelligence, and vision in the offense. As Bam gets this ball down in the paint, you can see that it's very, very clustered. I mean, there's 4 Hornets defenders in the paint, but Bam's going to kind of rise up here, and again, he rises up in his shooting motion. So you can take a look at those 4 Hornets players. Let's look at their eyes real quick. They're all staring at Bam Adebayo because, again, he's disguising his pass very well. So as they stare up at him, it allows Derrick Jones Jr. to kind of slip in behind the defense. Bam Adebayo is going to, again, make that pass, great vision, accurate pass, and Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be able to go up and finish that play. And this clip again just shows how intelligent and smart and patient Bam Adebayo is. I mean, if he came out and just didn't disguise that pass at all, Derrick Jones probably would not have been able to slip in behind the defense. But because Bam disguised it well, because he was very deceptive in his movements, the defense kind of fell for it. Derrick Jones Jr. was able to slip in behind, and then Bam just has the vision, the pass accuracy, and the patience to kind of make that pass, and it all worked out very, very well. And as I said before, Bam Adebayo's passing vision is my favorite part of his game as a whole. It's something that I think is extremely, extremely valuable for centers in the NBA game today. It's something that I think will take a good center to a great center and a great center to an unstoppable center. And, Bam Adebayo obviously is still developing as a player, still getting better his skill-wise, but in terms of his IQ and his passing vision, I love what I'm seeing. And something which I think really allows Bam's vision to excel is the Heat's roster makeup. I absolutely love the roster makeup. They've got great shooters out there on the perimeter in Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero and more, which allow Bam to kind of go through dribble handoffs for threes or even kick it out for a 3 on the perimeter. But they also have guys like Derrick Jones Jr. who have crazy bounce, just crazy athleticism, and kind of allow Bam to find those little passes within the paint for some layups and some dunks. And, I think that makes the Heat's offense very, very versatile. And not only does it make the Heat offense versatile, but it also gives Bam a ton of options to look for as a passer. Another aspect of Bam's game that I wanted to point out is his patience on offense. And I think this clip really shows that off. So in this play, you see Kendrick Nunn and Bam Adebayo in a pick and roll. Kendrick Nunn's going to come off of that pick, and Bam's going to roll, and Kendrick's going to feed him with a nice little bounce pass into the paint. And as we stop in this position, we can see that the Bucks have really kind of packed that paint in. I mean, there's 4 guys kind of around Bam Adebayo, and so there's really not that much space for him to operate. However, we'll see Bam be very, very patient in this space and make the most of it. So as we see here, he gives Brook Lopez a very, very hard pump fake, which makes Lopez kind of jump a little out of position. And as you can see, that Lopez is kind of turned to him sideways. So Bam's going to kind of stay patient, identify the weak spot, turn around towards kind of Brook Lopez's backside. He's going to have the angle, and he's going to make the finish. And I love this clip because I think it really shows off how good Bam Adebayo is compared to other centers in the NBA. You know, a lot of other players, if they were in that position where they had a lot of defenders around them, not much space to operate, they might panic, they might throw up a bad shot, they might kind of give up a turnover or something. But Bam here in this situation stayed very, very patient. He was able to give a good hard fake, find the correct angle to kind of get an open look and finish that shot. Another aspect of Bam's game that I absolutely love is his defensive potential. You know, Bam, I think, moves his feet very well. He's very agile for a center, but at the same time, he's very, very strong and can contend with the biggest centers in the NBA. Additionally, Bam is also very, very composed on defense. You know, he doesn't just go and jump and try to block every single shot. He maintains a good defensive stance, a solid base, and is able to find a lot of defensive success because of that. And you know, I think a lot of the defensive stats in the NBA nowadays can be kind of misleading to fans. You know, Bam Adebayo obviously doesn't get as many blocks per game as guys like Mitchell Robinson or Hassan Whiteside will do. But those guys a lot of times will just try and jump and block every single shot, and what that does is it'll put them out of position on defense and will give the offense an angle to exploit and score the ball. Bam Adebayo obviously doesn't get as many blocks per game, but I believe that he maintains a solid defensive base, maintains good position on defense, and is very, very effective when challenging shots at the rim. But in this play, let's take a look at one of the defensive highlights from Bam's career, and really one of the best blocks I've seen from this past season. As you can see right here, the Heat are up by 3 against the Milwaukee Bucks in an overtime game. This was very early in the season and a huge matchup. Goran Dragic misses the free throw, and Eric Bledsoe is able to come down with that rebound, and you see he just takes off right there. And Bam Adebayo's back there and chasing. And I just want y'all to know, Bam Adebayo has probably like a 6-7 inch height advantage on Bledsoe here, but he's maintaining him stride for stride, and he's going to be able to come and make this big chase down block to really seal the game. Just an incredible showing of athleticism here by Bam, but let's take a look a little closer at his timing. So right there you can see Eric Bledsoe storming down the court and Bam Adebayo chasing from behind. And as you'll probably know, when you're going up for a layup in the NBA or a dunk, you usually take a 1-2 step. So you take 1 step and then 2 steps and you push off that second step. So as we look at those 2 steps right here, we can take a look at Bledsoe's first step. And you can see that Bam Adebayo's step is right in sync. At the same time Bledsoe puts his foot down, Bam Adebayo also puts his foot down. And you can look at the second step by Bledsoe, that's the one he's going to push off of. Bam Adebayo also steps right there, so that allows him to time it very, very well, get a huge jump, and able to block that shot. And obviously that play shows off incredible athleticism by Bam right there, but I think it also shows off incredible timing. And you know, as a developing player, I really want to look at that timing more than the athleticism, because without timing, you can't really use your athleticism. But with that timing down right, you can kind of maximize your athleticism and use it to its fullest. And you know, timing a chase down block like that is no easy task. It's something that's extremely challenging, and it's something that takes a lot of time and practice and studying to be able to do. And that's something that a guy like LeBron James has really mastered, but to be able to see Bam Adebayo do it at such a high level and time that very, very well is extremely encouraging. Alright, I hope these clips really showed just how good Bam Adebayo actually is. You know, he's probably my favorite young center in the NBA right now, which is saying a lot because there's a lot of young talent out there, which is very, very good. But Bam Adebayo really sticks out to me because he's extremely versatile. I mean, he can really excel in pretty much every aspect of the game. Not only that, he's also extremely hardworking, extremely motivated, and a very, very smart player. So I'm really just looking forward to seeing where he goes in his future. I think that he has the potential to really be the focal point of Miami Heat offense, and I'm really looking forward to it. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.